In this video, we're going to share a couple of her concerns about starting a website and also a contest to see how many people we can fit behind this desk. All right,
at least 3.
Yeah. Haley, we were talking last week. Haley's my sister-in-law. I was trying to encourage you to start a website, and you had some concerns that could keep you from starting. So we want to have you represent all of them and some of the things that may be stopping them.
Okay. My number one would definitely be that I didn't have enough to add. I wrote a few articles, and then I felt like, who am I to be writing this? Nobody really cares. I have nothing more to add than anybody else knows already. So
yeah, that's known as imposter syndrome. So the idea here is that you feel like I'm not enough of an expert on this for anybody to trust what I have to say, and so if I write anything, I'm kind of an imposter. I don't have enough to say that would really be valuable. And people feel this in every career. Doctors feel this, engineers feel this. It's a pretty normal thing. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, the thing that has really helped me with that is to not take the approach of I'm the expert and you have come to me for wisdom on my website, but instead to just say, I am learning these things and this is what I'm learning. This is what happened when I started pontoonguide.com. I bought a boat, and that day I registered pontoonguide.com. I didn't know anything about boats, but I had learned a lot in the previous months. And so I looked at my Google search history and I just started answering the things that I had learned that I myself had Googled months before. And it makes the site feel so real because you're just somebody else just like them who's just a couple months ahead who has learned some of those things.
Another part of that is the writing. I know I was a terrible writer in high school, and so as I got writing and down at the bottom when it gives you your score that's in red, that always made me nervous to post that online because in their mind it's not readable. Mm-hmm. Is that a concern?
Yeah, I wouldn't worry, but that's the Yoast SEO plugin that gives you the green, yellow, or red. I wouldn't worry too much about that. It's something to glance at and it's just a reference. But another thing that has helped me is to realize that writing for the web has almost nothing to do with academic writing like in high school. What was prized there was grammar and creativity and stuff. And writing for the web, if you can teach someone something, if you can explain things to you when people ask you things, you can write for the web. All you have to do is think those things and then type the words that you're thinking as if you were teaching it to somebody. You can say I a lot. You can write sentences that are kind of fragmented or whatever. As long as it makes nice sense, it doesn't have to be technically perfect. I have no editors on my articles. I use the Grammarly plugin to catch a typo, and then I just try to explain it in a nice way, and that's worked fine for me.
Yeah, we get this concern a lot from people who, there are a lot of you out there who don't speak English as your first language. A lot of our viewers and even our students that have worked with us are not from the United States and don't speak English as their first language. And for those people, I would say the same thing. Don't worry too much about making sure your English is perfect. It might come across as, this person isn't a native English speaker, but I don't care. If the content is what I need, then I don't really care if it sounds like you're from somewhere else.
Another thing I actually really struggled with when I first started was there was a lot to think about, and I felt like if I was going to make money on my site, I needed a product in order to sell online, and I didn't have that. I didn't know where to go.
Yeah, what I'd say with that is monetization is an afternoon project. Writing your content is a months-long mission. If you can write your content and get people to your traffic, to your website, let's say you just completely messed up your monetization and you get 30,000 page views a month and it just doesn't earn anything. Well, changing the monetization on that site is an afternoon project. You go back, you create a couple resources pages, and you go from your most trafficked articles and you just link them over. You put a couple ClickBank products in there. You maybe create an info product, a quick one, and just toss it on the website and put links all over. It's easy to change the monetization on your site. And so don't make monetization your focus in the beginning. You should have a plan to make sure that once the traffic comes, you'll have a way to monetize it. But you don't have to have everything figured out, and you probably won't be able to figure it out until you have that traffic.
Yeah, we're actually moving more toward monetizing our websites later on. in the early days, we used to just, go ahead and sign up for Amazon and start putting links on your site as you write. But we find that if you don't even think about monetization while you're writing your content,
it's better.
You're going to write better content. You're going to write more helpful content, more authentic content. You're going to make recommendations that aren't even product related at all. And then monetizing later becomes very, very easy, especially because you can do like Jim said, take your top traffic articles and find a way to link from them to a resource page where you're going to link to all the product recommendations you have. And so you actually can do a much better job of monetizing and a much better job of content creation if you keep them a little bit more separate.
Okay. Some other fails that I had, I guess, when I tried was I would spend a lot of time in my writing and I wasn't seeing much success. And so it made me want to just stop because I didn't feel like it was going anywhere.
Mm-hmm. For me, this one's real simple. Make your success the milestone and not the end goal. If you say, I'm going to be successful when I have 100,000 people coming to my website, then yeah, you're going to get demotivated because that goal is a year and a half away. But if you make your goal, I'm going to put up 5 articles this week and 5 next week and 5 the week after that, then your end goal, your milestone at least, is only a month away. And anybody can put forth motivation for 1 month, to get things going. And so I would focus on your progress in getting to that and just don't worry about the end goal yet. Focus on what you can control this week, this month.
Yeah, we've talked about that before, where setting objectives for yourself that are things that you can actually control. You can't control how much traffic comes to your site and when that's going to happen. You can't control when that hockey stick growth is going to start happening on your website, on the traffic to your website. You can't control when people are going to start clicking on Amazon. It will happen if you do this right, and take the time to create the content. But too many people give up really early on because they're not seeing that outcome. They're not seeing the money or whatever. But we know that takes a long time, and a lot of beginners, I don't think, realize that. And so that's why we like to make sure that that's well known right off the bat. Is it's going to take a while. So focus on your objectives, and then you can celebrate at the end of the month. I got 20 articles done. No, I didn't make any money, but I got 20 articles done. We're going to order a pizza, and we're going to have a great time because we achieved our goal.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Okay. My biggest crown point of fail was when my website malfunctioned and I didn't know how to fix it.
Mm-hmm. I'll give you a couple quick resources for this. First is, if you can get in user groups, it can be really helpful. If you're in a Facebook group, or certainly if you're in Project 24 with us, where people post on there multiple times a day, say, this is happening on my website, and we'll just, usually it's like a 1-sentence, change this setting, is fixed,
Yeah.
But if you don't have anyone to go to, that's hard. And that's where I was when I started my website. I can't tell you how many times I was so frustrated and angry and just pulling my hair out when that would happen. So a user group can be helpful. 2 other resources are, 1, call your host and just say, I messed everything up. Turn it back to yesterday. I've done that dozens and dozens of times. Just call into Bluehost and say, it's bad. Make yesterday happen again. And it's Groundhog's Day. It's fantastic. And then if that can't fix it, you're really, really stuck, go to wpcurve.com. I think it's like $99. They'll have a pro just go in and fix your problem for you. Obviously, you don't have to do that all the time. But if you're really stuck, it's there.
Another thing that I had a concern with was the cost of putting together the website.
Yeah, when I started my website, we didn't have any money. I was in law school, and there really aren't that many things you have to buy. You have your hosting you're going to need. That's how much a month is that?
Like $295.
$295 a month. It's really inexpensive. And then, you might want to buy a WordPress theme, but I didn't have money for that, so I just used a free theme, and that was fine. And I bootstrapped as much as possible to make it happen, but still, that was a lot. Even $100 was a lot to start it out. And the way I did it is I went into my garage and I sold stuff on Craigslist. I went and got my skis and I sold them on Craigslist. The thing is, if you really believe you can do this, then you need to make it happen, whatever you need to do to get started. For me, that was selling my skis. I wanted to do it, but I didn't want to put out any extra cash, and so that's what I did. But if I would have let that one thing hold me back, I mean, I would have lost millions of dollars because I was afraid to spend whatever $100 to get this business started. Like, that would just be so sad. So make it happen, I guess is my point.
Along those lines, we've had people that express the concern that my spouse or my significant other, somebody that I really love doesn't really believe that I can do this, and so they're really reluctant for me to go out and spend the money. You know what? If you want to show that you're serious about this, and you want to kind of go the route that Jim just said, then show that person that you're serious and that you have faith in your ability to do this by going out and selling something you kind of care about. Mm-hmm. Put some skin in the game. Show them that you're very, very serious about this. That's going to go a long way. I wouldn't go out and sell their stuff. I wouldn't go out.
I would. That's a great idea.
So like, you know what? She hasn't used that. We've got this
what? Your car's not in the garage? How did that happen?
That piece of art's been out in the garage. It's been out in the attic for years. She's not gonna miss it. I'll go sell that. That's probably not a good idea. Show them, whether it's him or her, just show them that you're serious about it. Put some skin in the game. Go sell something you have, or go mow some lawns. Go do whatever it takes. In an afternoon you could earn enough money to pay for your website for the first year, if you're willing to get out there and make it happen.
This is a couple $100. It's like the cheapest business you could possibly start.
With the highest return on investment I've ever seen.
It could totally change your life. And so if you care about it at all, you just got to make something happen. I should say you are starting your website.
We are going to do it.
What's your domain name?
RE Photography School.
RE Photography School. She's teaching real estate photography on her site and getting started. So good luck on your site. And Thank you, if you are ready to get started, go to incomeschool.com/project24 and sign up for one of our ongoing Project 24 webinar series. In there, we're going to show you exactly our game plan for starting from nothing and getting to the point that you can replace your current income with passive income in 24 months. No business is guaranteed, but that is the best system we've come up with for creating successful passive income websites. So join us, incomeschool.com/project24.